Happy Sunday. Welcome back. A lot of progress, a lot of exciting progress, and more detail-driven progress. So, get you guys caught up on the 305 build for the 2026 Hot Rod Power Tour. We got a double roller timing chain installed, timing cover, pointer, harmonic balancer. I ended up getting one of those dial cam indicators or whatever they call them, the wheel, and was able to verify TDC, and everything was spot on. I don't remember, I moved it around a little bit, so now I don't remember what is true TDC or if it's on the downstroke. I'll figure that out once I actually put it in the car and before I turn it over, make sure everything's lined up right. But things are moving along. I also went ahead and started gasket matching the heads, and that was a very detail-oriented process. I'm going to review that in the video, later in the video. We'll go over what I did, what I used, how I did it, and for never doing it before, I'm very happy with the results. The reason why I did this is I wanted to get as much air into this block. At the end of the day, everybody knows TPI setups, especially with the long runners that I went with. And we'll pull them out here. Let me whip this out, right? This is just one set of the runners from First Performance. And I mean, look at those things. Those things are huge. Those things are gonna suck some air. And I just wanna make sure that I'm getting as much air into those combustion chambers as much as possible and try to open it up. Now, the trick flow heads have 175, like the way they come is 175 cc volume ports. I probably removed about 1/4 of an inch at the top of each of those ports. Didn't hog them out. I just really focused on gasket matching, so there was no step. And after we did that, went ahead, I keep saying we, it's funny, but after I did that, went ahead and started sanding it. Started with an 80 grit, then to 100 grit, 120 grit, then I went all the way up to a 320 grit, 400 grit, and then a 600 grit. And that thing is smoother than the baby's ass right now, so I'm excited. We're moving things along. I got to get these sent out so I can get these polished, because again, we're going to be polishing the plenum, the throttle body, and the runners to match the valve covers that I have that are chrome, and it also matches this nice little timing cover. Shiny's nice, you know, I like shiny. But no, super happy with the progress that has been going on. Hope you guys enjoy the process of gasket matching. I'm going to start with literally just marking it off and going all the way through. I'll just probably narrate it, but hope you enjoy. Cheers. All right, so what I ended up doing here is lining up the gasket first and just taking a look and see what it really looked like, what I was going to have to remove. And I ultimately lined it out with a Sharpie. And as you can see, there's a decent amount of material to move out on both of the sides. So I got those all marked out. And I ultimately started with a ferrous material burr that I ended up getting over at Harbor Freight. And that's the one with the rounded tip. And, you know, I tried to take my time as much as possible, you know, going fairly slowly, kind of removing as much as I could through this process. I will say, I'm sure if I got like a die grinder, it would have been a lot smoother. I just didn't feel like going out and buying one, so I just used my cordless drill and, you know, got the job done slowly and surely. As you can see, it's eating away. This isn't like fast forwarded. I probably could have fast forwarded this, but yeah, it did what it was supposed to do. It worked out really well. I was happy with the ultimate results. So after I got done going through all the ports, I needed to go back because, as you can see, there's almost like a little step going into the actual port. and I needed to remove that so that the transition was going to be nice and smooth at the top of the port. So I went back with those burrs, and I really focused on flattening out where the edge was, as you can see as I'm doing that right now, and just trying to eat away at that edge so it wasn't as much as a step going into the port, as well as getting that transition nice and smooth all the way at the top of that port going into the bowl. So just slowly but surely, you know, taking my time, eating away at that edge. And you can see after I got done with that, started hitting it with the sandpaper, going into each port, kind of taking my time, kind of getting really fairly deep in there, using a couple different bits or sanding discs. Started with an 80 grit, then went to the 100 grit, and then finished it off with a 120 grit. And it was pretty smooth. I was very happy with the results and how it all came out. Using those little discs, they worked out pretty well. I ended up breaking the post on one of them, like the bit that holds it. I don't know, maybe I was putting on too much pressure, but the tip of it ended up breaking off. I found it inside the chamber, which I thought was kind of funny. I don't know, probably not the best thing to do, but luckily it didn't damage anything, so I was able to just pull it out with my magnet. Here I am going with that final run on the 120 grit, getting it as smooth as I could, getting fairly deep in there. It might have gone about maybe a little more than 2 inches, maybe 2 to 3 inches. But the just using the drill, it worked just fine. I mean, I don't know. Could I have done a better job with like buying a die grinder? Maybe, but I didn't feel like spending that money, and I got a drill, and it worked. So I just used the tools that I had available to me, and it worked out pretty well. So this is where things got a little more interesting. I decided to do the rest of this by hand, and a whole new appreciation for people who do this on a normal basis. Like, my fingers are very sore at this point. So I started out, after I finished up with the 120, I went right to a 320 and started going through each of the ports. Immediately you started noticing the difference. So it was really good. It was a little bit more difficult to kind of navigate with the sandpaper. The sandpaper just kept getting stuck on me or getting clogged. So I inevitably went through each one of the ports and smoothed it all out before switching over to the next one, which was 400 grit. But this time, when I went with the 400 grit, what I decided to do was actually wet sand it, which made it a lot easier to sand. The sandpaper wouldn't get caught up nearly as much. And I like the overall results better with the wet sanding it. It was a lot easier to manage. It was a lot just a more consistent stroke when sanding it down. So it worked out really well, wet sanding it opposed to doing it dry. It worked out quite a bit. So it was definitely a better way to go. Anybody who's doing it, yep, there we go, put my finger in it. Just coated the edges, and it worked great. It really did. So here's the end result, and everything came out great. I'm very happy with it. One of the things I really needed to be careful of is make sure that I didn't take too much away on some of the ports leading up against where the push rods go. So there is a little bit of a step in there, but the transition's nice and smooth. Using that 600 grit, doing the wet sanding with the 600 grit, it came out really nice. And for my first go at it, I'm more than happy with the results of everything. So if this is something you plan on doing, it's definitely achievable. Don't be too nervous on it. It's just go slow. That's the advice I can give anybody. Go slow, take your time. It is, it's meticulous by all means, but it's well worth it. It feels great to get this done on my own, and you're probably saving oodles of money, like a lot of money. So I can't wait to see what this does for the build. So till next time.